what is felt, it's what is desired, and that is what is it's that heart, it's that action that is being to neighbors. And so this piece of work, the inspiration of that, and that desire to connect with that part of my community that can't be only tied to the land. Because I don't believe that the taking property is such a land and brought here eliminates my indigeneity. It's not something that the colonizers or slaveholders discovered and take from me. They can't take it from me. They can attempt to give it, but they can't take it. One of the most powerful relationships this country has ever seen, and a relationship that was systemically dismantled by the government, is the relationship between blacks and government. It's not a new relationship. It's centuries old, and it leaves this
All right, everybody.
There's a power we come together in this collective liberation. And intrinsically, the liberation of Black people here on Turtle Island is intertwined with the liberation of all the death star like burnout. The loneliness of the heart.
Again, slide back over here real quick. You got him with the hi, mom.
Thanks for keeping us up to date, man.
Oh, you're very welcome, man. It's good to be here. So, what's going on right now is this is another community meeting, gathering. What's happening? Hey, what's up? How are you?
How things been today?
I'm good. It's been all over the place, as usual.
How many hours of sleep are you getting a night?
Not enough.
I feel you.
You know, hopefully I get some sleep
it's blue.
soon. Hopefully I'll get some sleep soon, but you know, we'll see what we're saying. But
Yeah.
it's all good. You guys on the night watch here or what? What's
No,
going
we're
on?
actually just enjoying the whole everything that's become.
Okay.
I'm just feeling the vibe.
Well,
You know, it's been really stressful and a lot of hours we haven't slept. You know,
Yeah.
been right there with us.
I know what it is. I know what it
Thank you
is.
for being out there, man. Watching it and watching you guys, like, wanting to be out there and like, you can't.
Hell yeah. I'm not supposed to be here right now, but I can't.
Yeah.
Can't leave.
All right. So what we got going on right
I'm
here?
being kidnapped. You're
So I'll catch you in the morning by this thing here or what? Okay. All right. So what we got going on here? I mean, there's several hundreds of people here. This is like a community gathering right outside of the East Precinct.
Which is a black art space in the Central District. There's a family.
So, you know, these guys are out here. One of the things that happened since the last time I talked to everybody, and I put it on the Facebook page, my Facebook page and the Twitter, is that the Seattle Police Department had to backtrack on the statements that businesses are being extorted out here. Turns out they're not being extorted, or at least they don't have any reports of extortion. So this is the people from Wanawari right here. So Wanawari is located on 24th Avenue in the Central District. I think, is that Inye Wakoma? It might be Inye Wakoma right there. And, you know, it's all about preservation and culture and everything else, you know, in the black community. That's what he's talking about right there. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna take a few laps around the perimeter, because there's also another event that's going on just right down the block on 11th. And by the way, the residents here of the CHAZ, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, they've named this area right here Black Lives Matter Square. So this square right here that we're on, it's an intersection, but an intersection is also a square. It's got 4 lanes. Black Lives Matter Square. We'll give you a view right here of everybody. All right, so we're going to come back up here in a bit, but these guys are having some cultural programming around African American history and culture in Seattle, and also Native American. So we've got a lot of, seen some Native American speakers here tonight talking about the Native American connection to the land. Lucha Libre.
Oh, no.
What's up, baby?
Stream watching you, obviously. It goes live, you gotta share it, man.
Gotta share the stream, baby. Share the stream. Share the stream. Yeah. They know we share the stream. Yeah, it's not. So we're gonna come back up here.
When a colonizer or oppressor goes in to take over a place, it's first to be.
So they're talking about colonizers and oppressors, and so we're gonna come back up here. But you see, it's a lot of people out here in it. You want me to push it in? It ain't gonna fall. We gotta push it back there. So this is the East Precinct. I guess the East Precinct is maybe semi-autonomous at the moment. Hey.
Shouldn't leave people wondering how they're doing.
There's a little man over here. And so what's happened here is that's the entrance to the East Precinct. The police removed the boards that were sitting over the lobby area. So we see the lobby area now is exposed. They do have some fencing over there. And my understanding is now there are some officers in there. Someone's singing Lift Every Voice and Sing over there. So, for those that don't know that are listening to the stream right here, Lift Every Voice and Sing was penned by James Weldon Johnson. It was actually a poem that was written by James Weldon Johnson. And it was performed for Booker T. Washington. And, it was so impressed by the poem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, that James Weldon Johnson actually worked with his brother and put a harmony behind it. And for well over 100 years or more, Lift Every Voice and Sing has been considered the Black national anthem. So lift every voice and sing until earth and heaven ring. You know what I'm saying? It's really a song about freedom and about independence, about justice and about liberty. You know what I'm saying? Lift Every Voice and Sing, by James Weldon Johnson. And whoever is singing it right now is singing it. They are definitely singing it, And look to the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on until victory is won. Let's lift every voice and sing right there. Black National Anthem. Coming to you live from what the CHAZ residents have called the Black Lives Matter Square, right here in the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, within the city of Seattle, This is creative people here, man. It doesn't take long. And now this is the view looking into the western direction. If we look to the west down here, then we see that there's a whole lot of stuff going on right here. Where did the walk back the statements about the extortion? I mean, you can go to my just scroll up on my Facebook page. It's also on my Twitter, but also the Seattle Times. The Seattle Times actually broke the story. The Seattle Times said that basically the rumor about extortion came from a right-wing blog, and they listed the name of the author of the blog as well. And yeah, there has not been any extortion. And the thing is so being out here on this zone, when people find that they have a problem that they don't think that, they can solve, the media is one of the first people they talk to, of course. And I'm like, man, I ain't heard nothing from anybody. Oh, this thing is a stabilizer. So this thing is bouncing around a lot tonight. Let me see.
And down here at this end.
So we see a lot of streamers out here tonight because a lot of people who are just like letting people know. Hold on one second. There we go. So now we're heading westbound on Pine Street. Whole nother setup going on over here. So we're going to make a lot of the usual rounds tonight. One thing that we did notice tonight, and this is something that's new and interesting, I'm going to have to reach out there to the city, to the Parks Department, because the lights are off at Cal Anderson. And it was, at least my understanding, my last communication with the city of Seattle, that the lights don't go off at Cal Anderson until 4 a.m. But the lights are, they're clearly off right now. So we've now moved down into what they're calling Black Lives Matter Way. Come on over here. Look at this. I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good.
All right?
All right, man.
Lots of film crews out here today. So the CHAZ is becoming an international story. Myself, I think we did about 11 interviews today. Talked to people really all over the world. I talked to a TV station in France. Talked to news outlets in London, in the Netherlands, in Canada. We did Democracy Now! This morning, everything else. So, a few things I want to talk to you about tonight. As we move back over here to the memorial wall, like I said, I think you can tell the sincerity of any elected official or any community organizer that comes down here and to the CHAZ and what we used to call the Western Barricade. If they don't take the time to come over here to the memorial wall and light a candle, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This is, I can't tell you on Sunday, it was such a crazy scene here, how it was going down, because the police and the National Guard were right here at this barricade that you see right there in that area, and that's where they were firing. They were firing. The rubber bullets and everything else were coming in from the north and all the way to the south of the block. He's not there tonight, but the martial law band was there at the end of the block. And martial law just kept playing. There was all kinds of gas in the street, flashbangs, people yelling and screaming because they got hit with rubber bullets. And at one end of the street was the police and then the military. And just right there, a few hundred feet away at the end of the block, the band literally played on. And you know what I'm saying? We come right here to this wall. And I think it's important. And I come down here, try to every day when I talk to people, I try to come down here because you'll see that there's usually always some people that are here at the wall. And I think it's probably important for people to know a lot of people come here and they're indifferent to protest. You know, it's in like being at a barricade or yelling or screaming at somebody. It's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, whose humanity was just hurt. You know, it was a crime against humanity that we all witnessed play out on a Facebook video. No one was prepared to see what we would see there in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. But that crime against humanity was so egregious and so outrageous that some people, over the last 13 days or whatever, thousands of people have turned through here, and many of them weren't here to be out in front or to yell at the cops or this and that. Many of them wanted to just be around and connect with people who also felt a sense of loss of their humanity of what's going on. And this was the place where, you know, people have come together. And so this wall, the memorial wall and the candlelight vigil, like that night when the National Guard, the last night of the standoff, there was people who were like standing over here, like they were getting hit with rubber bullets, and they were trying to protect the area here. And it was raining in that night as well. And the candles can continue to burn. The martial law band continued to play over there at the end of the street. And it was like, man, it was a crazy moment, to be honest with you. It's very surreal, I guess, if that's the word that people use. But it's easy to get caught up in the headlines of it is the protesters versus the police and everything else. But like I said, since the standoff started here, 7-10 days ago or something like that, thousands of people have turned through here at what that time was the Western Barricade, and now we call it the CHAZ. You know, it's a fluid situation. Who just wanted to be able to connect with other people who felt a sense of loss that they did. So this is you want to make people mad real quick down here in this zone. It's a special place for people here in the zone. Excuse me. So we come over here, we'll lap around. Now I wanted to talk about it's been a lot of developments. You know what I'm saying? There was a community meeting today that the mayor facilitated with black leaders, whatever that means these days in Seattle. You know, I mean, not knocking leadership or black people, but I'm just saying that I guess it's a pretty ambiguous term that, excuse me, probably needs some clarification. But that meeting occurred today, so we're going to talk to you about that. This is the Black Lives Matter. It's being painted here in the middle of the street. And we talked about this, is that every letter was given to a different artist. Oh, hey, man, there's some music from Africa right here. Hey, this is Davido. You know what I mean? Hey, this is David. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, man? Big shout out my man, Davido. Lagos. These must be the Africans over here. They're over here playing David. This is the CHAZ right here. You know what I'm saying? It's right now. As the Black Lives Matter mural comes together here. And what's been dubbed as Black Lives Matter Way, what they formerly called Pine Street. So the medical area is to the left over here. I know you guys have been with me for a while. You know that we don't film over there to the medical area. Try to respect people's privacy and things like that. And we're gonna go so we can go and take a wide view. Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic. So let's get this over here. We can see it's progressing over here. One of the artists actually has the letter B. We've seen her. She's been painting that for a while. It looks like it's Kamisha Turner. Will that be you? Fantastic. Kamisha Turner right here. She has the B. So, one of the issues is, I mean, it's an ongoing issue, is like, in my opinion, this is still a leaderless resistance. And not because I'm being a hard ass, but it's just because, you know, a lot of people who I've been telling you guys who actually represent the heart and soul of a lot of what's occurring here. You're very welcome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see where. What's up, man?
What's up? What are you doing? Where's your security staff, dude?
I don't know.
I gotta merch you right now.
I know. Yeah, it's like this guy's. Exactly, bro. I'm just on the other side of the barricade over here, man. All right, I'm in the crosswalk.
Where's your security staff? Where's your fucking... I know, I was just with them! Man, it's so great out here, man. It's so, like, safe and, like, everything's great out here.
Oh, my God. You can tell it's been a long day and it's I was just waiting for the rest of my people so I can continue over here.
Where are you going?
Tonight I lost security. I guess I was walking too fast. But tell this guy where we're at, man. Where? Oh yeah, yeah.
Where? What's the landmark,
Y'all need some hand sanitizer?
Hey, what's up, Red?
I'm in here 1-to-1.
So we don't show them on camera, but the medical team is here and they're passing through. No, they don't be on. I be respecting the wishes of Boss Red, so we can't put them on camera. But they did give me some hand sanitizer. Thank you. I appreciate you. So we're just. Man, you got speakers to go? Alright, so give me one second here.
Cookie pack on camera. I got standards. Hey, hold on. Hold on.
Alright.
Listen. I'll say this on camera. The businesses are open. I was just at a bar, and yeah, the businesses are open.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
Well, because we talked about it earlier, and me and you and people talked about what's going on in this neighborhood. What's wrong with Simone? Look, show.
No, I've been showing them. Stick
There
out
are
here.
businesses that are open, and they need people to come down here. And we don't be intimidated. There's no guns out. Is there any guns out?
Yeah, I got you, Diana. Give me 1 second. You know it's Bobby Steele's, the postman. So whenever he shows up, I gotta give him his airtime. It's autonomous zone, huh?
Man, this is my neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean you live here,
I've been here a
so
long time. And look, she's right here. Look, our coworker. We just wouldn't have a drink. The person that organized the Black Lives Matter mural on the fort. We just had a drink together.
good stuff. So basically, what I hear Bobby saying here, is that they're open for business. I guess they're making their own rules up here at the moment. It doesn't appear that the rules are too out of line of exactly what's going on right now. But so what I was saying is like the problem still remains in regards to leadership and and everything else. It'd be interesting. I mean, they're putting together. Hey, what's up, Carol? How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
It's
I'm
good
glad
to see
you got
you
this
too.
on too.
Oh yeah, they won't let me move without this vest now. So I keep the vest on everywhere now. Yeah. So we've technically left the zone. But I wanted to take you guys up here to Broadway real quick. For you guys that follow the stream a lot, showed you this the other day. Just wanted to show it to you again. And I remember I was so surprised. It was one night here, we were on the stream. It was like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. It had been crazy down here. You know what I'm saying? And some of everything else. And we looked downtown and we saw right there at the Hyatt Regency. And I was like, what? Because, it used to just be hearts. And then we looked down there and it was like, whoa. The Hyatt Regency put BLM. You know what I'm saying? On the hotel. They replaced the hearts with a BLM right there. So, it seems to me like, for whatever movement is going on up here on Capitol Hill or in this Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone or this CHAZ, it seems that, there's signals and signs all over the city of people who are being supportive of it. Now, this is Seattle Central College, and you see right there on their electronic board, Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? We stand with our community. So, it's kind of some stuff in its own way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mutual aid. Yeah. Are you guys with a mutual aid organization? Are you with a mutual aid?
Yeah, we're with Seattle Central. It's on the other side of that bus.
Seattle Central. So it's like.
Calling your name.
They got 2 wieners. But no. Why is 2 wieners and 1 bun have to call my name? I know we're on Cap Hill, but you know what I'm saying? 1 wiener, 1 bun. Listen, 1 wiener, 1 bun's okay with me, man. I'm not ready to experiment with 2 wieners, 1 bun.
Is it a cold burger?
No, burger's good. So what I was saying is like, man, the leadership. She's still on my Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm vegan right now.
Omari Salisbury. Oh, fuck. It's Omari. What's up, man? Well, you might as well say hi, Mom. Say good to all the relatives, all that stuff.
You see that one?
Yeah.
That was crazy. You got to put it on with that.
Let me get a bite of that.
If it's good, I'm going to grab one.
Yeah, I mean, go get the food. You guys are tripping. Hey, yo.
It's good.
Go grab one. Anyways, a few distractions over here. And also, I need to follow up on this because, you know, like I said, the lights in Cal Anderson Park used to be on until 4 a.m. The lights are now off. And they're off on the day now where the police said that they're moving back into the precinct. So kind of makes you think that the lights being off in Cal Anderson very well. I don't know, it could be coincidence, a coinky dink, but you know what I'm saying, that it's whatever. It's okay to talk. So, like I said, Cal Anderson Park is dark right now. But, man, I don't really see, like, a sense of leadership, man. But it's coming. I mean, the guys on Capitol Hill, you know what I'm saying? They're organizing themselves and everything else. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, but I'm going to find out because that's why you guys got me out here, is to be able to find out what's up. But the mayor apparently had a meeting with some black leaders. And you know what? I told you guys from day one, I said, you know what? No matter what, or no matter who, if someone can't make the protest, at the time, even before the CHAZ was there, it was like, if someone can't make these protests stop, then, you know, where do they fit into the value chain? Because for the SPD, the SPD wants to be able to get their precinct back. We're going to cut across Cal Anderson Park here. A lot of people in the park still tonight, even though there's no lights. The Seattle Police Department wants to be able to get their precinct back. And they want to be able to get it back peacefully. And at this point, a lot of people that are representing the organizations of different leadership, say in the black community and things like that, they've made appearances at the East Precinct. They've talked to people at the East Precinct. And so now it's really going to come down to, like, we're walking through Cal Anderson Park right now. It's a new view for you guys. The lights haven't been off here in a long time. At this hour, the lights usually go off at 4 a.m., but there's no lighting here tonight. Not sure why, but there's mutual aid over there as we come through. But, you know, I think that it's leadership, man. And, you know, I've been telling you guys for a long time that it's going to come down to, man, who got the juice? Who got the juice? Because the people in Cap Hill, they're very happy to sit there and continue to be there until the right deal is made. So, you know, I bring this up because I hope people down at City Hall are listening as well. You know what I'm saying? That it's like, hopefully, whatever you guys put together down there on this situation that's going on, you know, it's with somebody who actually has some reach, and not only the black community, but also the community here on Capitol Hill. So, one complaint or observation, at least, that we heard today, coming out of the meeting that occurred at Langston Hughes today, was that, hey, what's up? one of the things that, man, this mutual aid is gone, huh? One of the things that we heard was that there was a lot of black leaders who weren't invited, maybe the wrong people invited. I mean, these guys are literally hanging out. What's good? What's good? Really dark over here tonight because the lights are off, by the way. All right. Then this is the other side of the Black Lives Matter mural. Right here on Black Lives Matter Way, inside the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, as it's being referred to by the residents. Well, yeah, I mean, it's really interesting that the lights are off, I'll be honest with you. Especially with today being the day that they came out and said that, here on, at the precinct, what the plans were and everything else. But I mean, this isn't necessarily a safe environment, but I know people will say, well, if you're autonomous, turn on your own lights. So that could be the case as well, but I'm just saying that, yeah. So, personally, it's an opinion. In my opinion, I think that what we're seeing play out in Seattle is a power grab. But the best thing is power grabs happen all the time. And, and like I said before, a long time ago, guys, that, how this plays out, it's going to be literally that, a power grab. How people can use this situation. I'm not necessarily saying use in a bad way, but I don't think there's any other word, or I guess you could say maximize what's gone on up here in the Hill to be able to push whatever agenda that they have. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. That's just the way that it works, politics and everything else. And, the deals are made. So, I haven't necessarily, when the people I talk to every day, I'm up at like 5 a.m., I will talk to those guys, I've talked to people throughout the day and everything else. There hasn't been one person yet that wins the straw poll. You know what I'm saying? That's good, man. Yeah, everything cool?
They help someone move out. Stop doing it, check it out.
Yeah, it's active, huh? For a Thursday night, too, right?
It's like a festival, man.
It does look like a festival. Yeah, self-care, man. Don't worry, I won't be out here too long tonight. I'm working on my self-care. You think it's... Oh, yeah. You see that? And so... there's a second segment, too.
I listened to the second segment.
Oh, okay, cool.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Do you think I described everything accurately?
I'm glad that you corrected Amy Goodman and you put in there that there was rubber bullets being shot.
Yeah, I tell her.
What she was already saying.
Right.
All good to know, and that is a international news source.
Yeah, and I got shot by one of them rubber bullets. Wow, that's crazy. You'd be up early if you were watching Democracy Now!, man.
Every day of my life.
Wow, okay. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
We appreciate you too, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you do.
No problem.
Where's Ralph?
Coffee stop here. Yeah. Defund, not decap. Okay, I'm gonna circle around and come back. Mutual aid. All right. This is my favorite coffee shop. Looks like they're closed up.
Hey, turn around. I'm in the middle of the crosswalk. Crosswalk. Over here. Here, on the other side of the pole. Look at I got a beer in there. I got you to go home with the beer, man. I got it right too. They got me out here.
So, in the interim, though, I know I've been talking about leadership and things like that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the officers that are in there inside the East Precinct. We'll make our way back up there shortly. So, you know, like, it's I mean, you basically got a lot of people who are doing a lot of art, everything else out here. I mean, it's just a happy atmosphere. But to be honest with you, this is kind of an atmosphere that's kind of native to Capitol Hill. You know, I mean, the block party got canceled. Pride got canceled. Guys are just out here, I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely out here. So...
That's the thing is, like, once again.
I don't know. I mean, I'm saying, like, shit. Looking eastbound right here on, well, I guess what used to be called Pine Street, and what the residents of the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone are now calling. Hey, what's up, man? You good? I'm gonna hit you back.
Man, you've been here all day recording.
All day. I've been here, yeah, even longer than that. But yeah.
Where's this going to?
It's going to the world.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Trying to show the world what's going on.
All right.
Okay, be safe.
Is there anything up here you want to go to?
So somebody made mention of the East Precinct and there being officers inside the East Precinct. This is the East Precinct right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
One thing about the hop in the fence, I'm still.
Hey, how are you? So I don't see anybody in the lobby area right now. But
That was the first time I've ever said that out loud. It's so much better with police.
what's up, man? So coming back up here, we'll give you this shot. I guess you could say from backstage.
Then you do not support Black lives. Black lives do not matter to you because your actions, rather your inactions, speak volumes. And to the white people here, this is not Coachella. I've seen more white folks speaking down to and over black folks, more paternalism and white saviorism, and more of y'all taking up space than I have in a long fucking time. A woman made mention at the takeover of City Hall, all the white faces filling that space. What would that space have looked like if y'all stayed outside and gave up that space to black and brown folks? My advice to you is watch how much space you are taking up. Where are you standing? How are you moving? How are you respecting the black folks right in front of you? And what might it look like for you all to take a step back and let black folks listen and observe black leaders and speakers from the front of the crowd instead of always pushing them to the back or to the sides or allowing them to be swallowed by the crowd? This movement is not your movement. Your job is to police the police. Your job is to act as a barrier between them and us. I read a comment on Facebook that said something to the effect of, a black protester was shot in broad daylight, and all white folks did was run and then call him a hero. What does it look like for y'all to actually be about that life? What does it look like for you all to not be out here for brownie points, but to start funneling those resources and money and access to individual black people, to black-led orgs, to black youth, and to black trans folks? Lastly, this is not supposed to be fun for you at all. If you are having fun, you are too fucking comfortable. If your butt cheeks don't clench a little bit, then my friends, you are not being challenged and no one is being critical of your role or your privilege, and you are not growing. This is that moment though. This is a time for self-reflection on the reason you are really here. And if you aren't really here for us, I mean really here for us, what the fuck are you doing? Go home and please let us fight for our fucking lives in peace. Also, please fucking say excuse me when you cut someone's fucking path. If Black Lives Matter, then watch how you are treating the black folks in the space around you. Okay? It's my biggest pet peeve when people walk, black people, your parents tell you not to cut someone's path, and y'all cut paths all the time and don't say excuse me. You bump into me, you bump into my daughter, and don't say a word. Look me in my eye when you
all right, so let's step back here real quick.
Simple.
And
Have some home training, y'all.
yeah, I'm gonna say this is that, and maybe the point of a lot of the speeches is to educate.
Nikki said y'all can also give them parking spaces so she can park closer.
think, you know, and we don't record a lot, too much of the speaker. I mean, we try to record some speakers, but, you know, sometimes these guys speak for hours and hours and hours. And, I mean, there's a big crowd that's here and everything, and I hear what people are saying. I hear what a lot of the speakers are saying. They're like, man, you know, if you work at the bank, shit, you know what I'm saying? Approve that loan if you can. You know, I mean, and things like that. But on the flip side of it, I don't know, man. I think that I literally saw these people right here in this neighborhood every day go up there and keep and sustain a protest. I saw these people in this neighborhood every day get their ass whooped and gassed and everything else. And so, you know, I mean, I know that these are speeches, and I'm not being critical of this particular speaker, so I don't want anybody to take it that way. But it's like, you know, I mean, the thing is the CHAZ is a new development, man. But well before the CHAZ was, you know, I mean, that just developed because they abandoned the precinct. But before that, you know what I'm saying? I used to tell you guys, man, this crowd is like 90% white. They're getting smacked out here. 95% white some days. You know, some days it was just me and, you know, Future Crystals and a few other people, as you can see, of people of color. And so, you know what I'm saying? I think that, I don't know. You know, I just think that, you know, we just got to be fair about some things, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, like I said, I was out here and literally every single day. It's not hundreds, not thousands. And a lot of these speeches here are for the culture as a whole. They're they're talking to a few hundred people here. The idea is to spread to millions or whatever. But, you know, I mean, man, I was left and right with these white people all the time. Every time I got fucked up out here, it was some white people who came and saved me. You know what I'm saying? When you heard me screaming medic, when I couldn't breathe out here, when the tear gas was in my lungs and you heard me wheezing and everything else, you know what I'm saying? The security people taking the rubber bullets and everything else, man, it was just white people out here, man. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and on my stream and discredit the fact. And, you know, I'm not, you know, and everybody has their own path, and this is just me talking as me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to discredit the fact that, man, when I was there every single time, I got jammed up out here, and you guys was with me. It was some white people who was out here like, man, you know, hey, what's up, oh? You know what I'm saying? So many of the people didn't know me. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not really on that shit, man. And I'm going to just keep it real with you, man. I'm not really on that shit of coming over here to Capitol Hill and telling white people how, like, basically they ain't shit and everything else, man. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll call it fair how I see it. You know what I'm saying? 100%. When I was asking for other people to come out here, when I was asking for other communities to come out here, ain't nobody fucking show up. Nobody showed up. But these people here on Capitol Hill, that's who showed up. That's who showed up and showed out every night. You know what I'm saying? Fearless on the barricade. Fearless over there running the medics. Fearless over there running the mutual aid. Fearless on all these other things. That's who showed up. You guys heard me on the stream. Hey, guys, come out here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? If this is what different communities of different colors wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, it would have been different if 10 days ago people were like, well, this is part of our master strategy here not to come out, so we can make sure that the white people go and, you know, they take the L out there with the police so we can step in. So it isn't even like somebody said that was their master plan. You know what I'm saying? This is all on the fly, man. This is all after the fact. And, man, I'm just letting all the people listen to my stream, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm not with that shit. Because when I was down here and you guys saw it, when I was down there several days, jammed up, there's all white people around me except for Eric Calligraphy. You know what I'm saying? It's them people, man. And I just think it's crap to sit over here night after night and for people to sit here and come to Capitol Hill and basically tell these white people they ain't shit just because they're white. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that, and I never will be with that. You know what I'm saying? They call me the global citizen for a reason. The earth is my turf, from Maine to Spain and from Turkey to Albuquerque. You know what I'm saying? You know, all God's people. And just because of the color of your skin, because I've been on the other side of that all over the world. You know what I'm saying? I lived in the Middle East. I wasn't Arab. Didn't speak Arabic, and I was black. Even when I was in a lot of countries in Africa, they're like, oh, well, you're an American, or you don't know the local language. That's why I can speak so many languages. You know what I'm saying? Speak 4 or 5 languages, because I'm like, man, these guys ain't going to hold me down on the language thing. I've been on the other side of the issue where the judgment came just because the way I looked. Just because the way I looked, and it's like, oh, well, man, you must be this or you must be that. And I've had all these opportunities or whatever. And so it's like, I see all these different sides of the coin that a lot of people don't spit. But I swear on my mama and on my kids that I'll never be somebody that's just because you're white or just because you're whatever, that you're different and that you have to hold some kind of situation of guilt or you have to hold some kind of whatever, man. That's some bullshit. I don't agree with it. I'm giving you guys my personal opinion, stepping out from my journalism hat because, man, I need to say that. I've been sitting out here and I've been listening to this. And I've been listening to people just sit here and tell white people like, man, you know what? You guys are crap. You know, you need to do this, that. You haven't done whatever. Nah, man. You know what? I'm on something different, and I'm glad it's my stream because I'm going to say what I got to say. You know what I'm saying? And it's real. You know, I love all God's people. Real deal. You know, for real. And people who came for me, guess what? They ain't look like me. And they came for me every day. Every day. They came for me out here. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few people on the outside who came for me. James Brown brought me a battery pack. You know what I'm saying? My man's in there, he don't want me to say his name, who brought me the bulletproof vest from the Central District. You know what I'm saying? It's only a few people, you know what I'm saying, who came. These people came for me every day, protecting my safety and everything. And I'm not gonna sit up here. I'm gonna get off this subject, but I'm not gonna sit up here. You know, there's no way I could ever come up here to Capitol Hill and be like, well, man, you white people ain't this and you white people ain't that. You know what I'm saying? When we sat there and we all got our ass whipped by the police. On the real, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and fundamentally, I'm telling you, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? People need that, man. I mean, there's a lot of issues. People out there, people need to get past these things, man. You know what I'm saying? People need to get past these things. And I'm not saying people should forget or this, that, but whatever the step is to get past it, let's get past it. Because you know what? Nobody is really saying, like, well, solution, okay, so fine, you feel that way. Like, man, you know what? It's this and that. You're white. You have X, Y, and Z. You know, how do we get past these things in our society? I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, snap a finger, I'm going to forget this and that and everything else. And I know my disposition is different. You guys saw me get my ass whipped by the police out here every day. And every day, man, the next day I wake up, man, positive. Like, man, because that's where I am in life. And I know everybody ain't there. And I'm not expecting everybody to be there. But every day I wake up positive. Like, man, you know, I mean, and that's them. But that's how I can sit here and I can talk to a chief and not be like, oh, man, you know, what about this and that or everything else? Because, man, you know, this is just a trip to be up here. And it's like, man, it's a trip to be up here and to listen to these things and whatever else, man. And, you know, I mean, it's just wild, you know. Like I said, man, it's a global citizen, you know. And however these steps or wherever these steps, and, man, you know, I'm that's what something I'd be ready to be part and parcel of. I'm not trying to be part of all these backroom dealings with these politicians and whoever and everything else. People are like, appreciate you too, thank you. Not trying to be part of none of that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because we already know how that all ends up, man. That's probably already planned out, you know. That's that. But, you know, a fundamental change, man, where, you know what, we could really see each other and, you know, an eye to eye in a real way. That's something that I commit myself to. You know, I'm not trying to commit myself to being in some smoke-filled room downtown with this leader and this organization or whatever else. But I'm committed to, man, humanity. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm committed to. I'm committed to humanity. I'm committed to, like, you know, better relationships and understanding between people. I'm committed to, like, man, you know what I'm saying, fundamental understanding and everything else, man. And I'm not with the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got every reason to be with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, man, my mom started this organization, Mothers for Police Accountability. So I was 16, the police beat my ass. Me and my brothers. They beat us up on 29th and Jackson. You know what I'm saying? We filed a lawsuit against the city and everything. I could really be here, man. You know what I'm saying? All these years later, angry and everything else. You know? I mean, I have a reason. But what you saw in the Pink Umbrella video, what'd you see it come out my mouth? I didn't know none of them people. Hey, guys, let's calm down. Let's de-escalate. I had every right to be there as an angry black man who done got his ass whipped by the police, that probably lost out on opportunities because of my blackness, and I'm big and a loud voice and everything. And in that moment, man, it could be like, you know, oh, which way is it gonna go? I mean, for me, it wasn't even no second thought. I don't even think like that. But I'm like, man, let's de-escalate this. Let's shut this down. You see me time after time on this stream. Like, hey, man, let's de-escalate. Let's turn this down. And I know there's a lot of ways to be able to get to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like whatchamacallit. If you're in Renton and you're trying to get to Linwood, you got two different routes. You can take the 405 or the I-5. They'll both get you there. So I'm not saying that there isn't different routes to get there or whatever, but I'm just telling you, man, I'm not with the shit. You know what I'm saying? I love all God's people, you know, on a real deal. And I can say that sincerely. And when people hear that from my voice, they know it. When they hear that from my voice, they know it. And it's that sincerity and that love of all God's people is why, man, you know, everybody around me, we bring out the best in people, you know? You'll never see anybody bringing out the worst in people around me. Everywhere we go, the best of people emerge. The best of people show up because that's fundamentally what we believe in, man. You know what I'm saying? The goodness and humanity, man. Man, it's some bullshit, man.
Contribute some money to you, so thank you right there.
I'm gonna say what's up to somebody over here. What's up, bro? Just wanted to come in and say hello.
Man, thank you, man.
Nah.
I'm kicking ass.
Appreciate you guys,
I
man.
like your straight stories, just how you keep it real, and you just, you know, you got a point, but you're just covering it. You know, we don't get as much realism as much what you guys. So every morning when I wake up and watch you guys, you know, in the morning
you
show.
watch the morning show?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh wow,
My sister,
because a lot of people watch the stream, but I don't bump into it. So many people watch the morning show. That's dope.
I brought my daughters down here this morning.
Yeah.
Not this morning, in the afternoon, and my youngest, she's 8 years old. She was like, is that the guy you've been watching on the morning show? And I was like, yeah.
That's me, huh?
So she was down on you guys were down on the Pine Street. She was like, am I on the screen? I'm like,
you know, so what, you're around in the mornings?
In the afternoons. I live on the east side. My sister lives in Capitol Hill.
Okay. Well, you know,
I've been over here every day.
You know what, man? I mean, we're right there every day from 11 to 12, Monday through Friday. You tell whoever to stop by. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk to them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Take pictures, whatever he wants to do.
No, it's not no celebrity anything. It's just like
He didn't want me to
it
tell
real,
you.
and I just dropped $100 just seeing you standing here. Just
I
dropped
apologize. He said he didn't want no recognition for it.
Wow. Well, I didn't put him on camera. You know, I always ask people. I try to the first time. I just want to tell you, I appreciate it, and we just trying to. You know what I'm saying?
And I stand here and I'm like, I don't know all, you know, and I don't. But like, there's an amazing layer of just people nonstop asking me questions like, what's this, what's that, you know, and they're asking me for, you know, and I'm from Ohio, and people are they're like a lot of people are for it to an extent, you know, and so they come to me and ask me questions, and I'm like, one, I don't know everything. Two, I don't speak for the movement. Three, I definitely don't speak for the black community, you know, but I'm learning, you know.
I mean, and that's all it is.
It's just, you know, so I saw you like on the front line just standing there, and we were in the freaking thick of it, and I don't take any credit of anything, you know, but like, it was right there, you know, and it was real. And that's where I'm like, some people are like, thanks for being there. I'm like, where else would I fucking be?
Yeah, where else?
You know? Right. And at the same time, I'm like, I'm only like a tiny fraction of this movement.
Right.
And I'm like a nano fraction of, like, me getting gas is like a nano fraction of what folks have experienced over hundreds of years, you know?
Right.
It's just, you know, my father was, you know, in the 60s, like, was there, standing up, and me and my sister, she's 5 years older than me, she's in the crowd right now, they've been down here, and her kids have all been down here every night. Her kids have got gas, and you know, it's like it's real, you know. But at the same time, it's,
right.
I'm just a white dude.
Nah, man. You know, I mean, bro.
And that's no disrespect on me or anything, but it's just like that's what it is.
Listen, thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Keep it real. Yeah. So I just got it right. Here's what I just got. It just popped into my mind, everybody. You know, sometimes I appreciate you guys' patience because you guys allow me to talk things out, right? I just got it. What would be way more productive, since everybody's like, oh, you know, you're white, you need to use your privilege, you guys didn't do shit and everything else. Why the fuck don't these guys have sign-up tables over here and be like, where do you work? You know what I'm saying? What can you do? How can you do whatever and everything else? I mean, it just seems to me like, man, you know, where's the White Guilt app? You know what I'm saying? Everybody download the app. We need to know where you work. You know what I'm saying? How we can match you with people in our community who need jobs or something. But that's what I'm saying is I just don't think that sitting here in night after night and calling out people's self-worth based upon the color of their skin is the answer. So it's like, oh, okay, well, man, why don't you like organize? You know what I'm saying? Make a lot of these people got good jobs, you know what I'm saying? Google, Facebook, all this healthcare and everything else. And it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Where the fuck are the bankers at? Because, you know, black community got shit on PPE. Let's start with that. If you work at a bank, raise your hand. We're pulling you right over here right now. You see what I'm saying? Okay, well, man, who's in insurance over here? Okay, well, who's in healthcare? Who's in job training? Because then you're moving the process forward. And you're able to really help people feel like they're part of some shit. Like, hey, man, I was out here. I was dealing with whatever kind of issues. But, you know, I worked at a bank, and I was able to help these kind of people get PPE loans or whatever, PPP loans or whatever. This is something that's tangible. You see what I'm saying? You organize people. And it's like, okay, well, man, this is our plan to make society better. Here's our fundamental plan, and we're going to make this plan to make society better, you know? But when the discussion is just like, hey, well, you know, based upon how you look, this is like what it is. I mean, fundamentally, I'm just saying, like, man, I don't understand it. Like, even right now, although lights were off, so tonight the lights were off for Cal Anderson, but it's like, man, Cal Anderson is a good example. Why not set up a bunch of folding tables over there, everybody's information? What do you work? What are you willing to do? Oh, word? You do coding at the XYZ level? Okay, great. We're going to put you in the boot camp list, the coding boot camp. And you know what? Here's how you're going to be part of it. You're going to be part of, you know, boot camp coding, you know, in our youth. Oh, word? You know what I'm saying? You're a piano teacher? Oh, this is great. We're going to go get some pianos over here so you can teach people how to play the piano. Oh, word, you do this and that. Then fundamentally, man, this is an organization. Organizers organize. And I'm not even an organizer. But it's like, man, put people together. Give people the highest opportunity for service. Most people want to serve. Most people want to serve. They just don't know how. And so then that's where it ends up with just a donation. Well, I donated for, you know, the college fund or this and that. Man, you know what I'm saying? If people want fundamental change, why not give people a platform for service? This is a great opportunity right here. This is a great opportunity right here. You know what I'm saying? Man, when we going back to Africa, T?
I'm ready.
When we going back to Tanzania, man? This is like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, guys. I ain't trying to sit here and be ranting on you or anything like that. But, you know, I just want to keep it real.
Especially as black women and black folks. Take up as little space as you can. Interrupt whiteness as little as you can is what we're taught. And right now we are here to interrupt whiteness all the fucking way.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, my God.
So, we got another...
This is crazy, man.
You ready to show some love? Put your hands together. Get that energy ready. Let's warm the space up. Let's keep it warm. Let's keep it warm. Show some love for Evo Barton. What's up, y'all?
Wow. That's all I can say. That's all I can say is wow. Let's move on down the hill.
What's up, y'all?
East Precinct.
If you've never used it at pronouns before, it sounds like this. Evo came from the most amazing poetry I've ever seen in my life.
No,
They
it's
were
right
very
there.
attractive.
Inside? Why would he do that?
I really wanted to give them $20. Tell me their Venmo. All right, cool. So before I get started, I'm just gonna do one thing.
Future Crystals. What's up, man? This is fam right here. You good?
I hope so, man. I just found the undercover.
There they are. Please. Thank you.
These are 3 black transgender folks.
But now, he's the real.
So, just like my colleague said,
Can't stoop, won't stoop. These guys are a mess out. Oh man, I got this out here. What's up, man? Well, actually, that's when I bet. And just make sure. I don't. Well, actually, yeah, I do. Give me 1 second, guys. What?
They don't mind? Yeah, we don't want your location.
Just right there, right around to the left. And then you just go up and open the other one. To the left. There you go, it should be open. All right, sorry about that. All right, well, I guess it's gonna be one of them keys, unfortunately. It might be next with the fob. It should be right next to the fob. Anyways, so now we're down here, back down in the lower area and everything else, man. And anyways, I was saying, man, I don't mean to be ranting out here or anything like that. I just, it's just different to me. I'll be honest with you. But I would say, like I said, this is the CHAZ. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Very peaceful, very unique. All kinds of people out here tonight representing some of everything. And, the big questions, even though they talked about today, and we saw the article in the Seattle Times that the SPD had to retract the statement that people were being extorted and all that kind of stuff and everything else. They had to pull it back. But those aren't the questions, the big questions. The big questions is like, man, what does it look like with the SPD? What's up, fam? How you doing? What's it look like with the SPD taking the East Precinct back? I mean, what are the means for the SPD to go about in doing that? What does that look like? Because clearly they're determined to do it, and the CHAZ. What happens to the CHAZ? You know what I'm saying? What happens to the streets here? A lot of these streets, the streets open back up. You know what I'm saying? Do they continue to be closed? I mean, there's already lots of streets in Seattle that are kind of closed because they're considered healthy streets and everything else. But it's like, let's see, Russell Monroe. I think Nikita was early on, might have been part of the same program that's going on, or might have been part of a different program. But my understanding that when Nikita was here tonight, might still actually be here. But those are fundamentally the questions. What leaders is it that's out there that the people in this CHAZ zone are ultimately really going to support and really going to get behind? Because we see some things here, and it's that's important to understand is the people who actually operate this protest, people who man these barricades, the people or the medics, the mutual aids, and everything else. Those aren't the people that you see in those crowds and audiences. Those are other people that come in the neighborhood, and some people who actually do live in the neighborhood. Those are other people. You get what I'm saying? And so it'll be interesting, or what's really important. 1 a.m., huh? It would be really important, I think, for people to it's just important, I think, to understand who the actual people who are the lifeblood of the protests trust. Yep.
Can I say thank you for everything you've done? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate all your live streams have been so helpful in getting the truth out there to like my parents who are down in Olympia and getting Fox News and all that shit of like what's going on, you know. So thank you very much for showing the truth.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. No problem. Have a good evening. These are the larger questions that really need to be asked about what's going on here. You know, will the CHAZ finally form a community council? You know, will the CHAZ actually, you know what I'm saying, how are you? Will leadership emerge from their side? You know what I'm saying? How is this going to look? What is their relationship with the actual CHAZ and, you know, the elected representatives and things like that? Those are fundamentally the questions, because these are the questions that until you answer these, because everybody wants a good foundation for sustainable success. And so things that are unresolved need to be resolved right. You know what I'm saying? Got to be able to find some resolution. And it's all right. And sometimes resolution is tough and it's difficult and it's hard. You know, if things were easy, everybody would be doing it. Some of this stuff is difficult to do. It's hard to do. But, you know, it has to be done. If like I said, if things here are going to be sustainable and whatever. And from the city side, like I said, the mayor, she had her meeting yesterday at this point, or I guess yesterday, Thursday, with a group of black leaders. Some people were invited, some people weren't. And, as the mayor, as the chief executive of the city, of course, it's her prerogative to meet with who she wants to meet with and who she doesn't want to meet with. But, we'll see how all these things turn out. We'll see exactly what's going to happen here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would agree with you, Kiki. After June, hey April, you ain't the first one to say that though. But some of the comments that we got is that even after this weekend, it would be very difficult. I mean, do you know it's this thick right now? It's a Thursday night, late night, and it's cracking over here. There's people in the streets, all kinds of stuff that's going on. Guys are doing poetry up there. People are just kind of hanging and doing fun stuff and skateboarding down here. If this goes through the weekend and you got that big population out here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be very interesting to be able to see, what tactics the Seattle Police Department take. Chief Best said that, in the blue sky scenario, I asked her, what's the blue sky scenario look like for you, Chief? And she said, it kind of starts with dialogue. So, I mean, if the SPD's position very well might be, it's like, yeah, they want it back. Not necessarily in a hurry, but maybe in a hurry, but not necessarily in a hurry. And they want dialogue. What's up, man?
I just wanted to thank you for what you're doing. It's like
Oh, man.
deeply important to people who can't be here, like during the day and whatnot. People really appreciate it.
Man,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
You've seen, but I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, brother.
And you're keeping the message where it needs to be, and that's obviously important. But you're awesome, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, it's lots of rumors tonight that the police will be coming back. 1 a.m. isn't really a good hour, though. I guess because like these people ain't gonna be going nowhere before like 1 a.m. or anything. But man, I guess like, you know, I come from a unique vantage point, man. In my life and my career, I've been around some exceptional leaders, from, you know, the business world to the religious world to the political world to even teachers and everything else, man. And so it's like, you know, my expectations on leadership maybe are very high or something like that. But you know what? Leadership has to emerge. You know? Leadership has to emerge. And it's like the people's intuition is strong. The people know when it's real. The people know when it's authentic. And I'm not saying that anybody out here is being fake or contrived, but the people know what's up.
See that? Come on.
So, anyways, lots of stuff going on tonight. Yo, yeah, I'm Amari.
I'm Anthony, man. I don't know.
Hey,
if you
what's up,
remember
Anthony?
Me. I was in Boy Scouts with your brother in Chikundi.
Oh, okay.
Way back.
Oh, way back,
Your mom was on community police commission, right?
Yeah,
My
she
wife.
is. She's on the CPC.
They're on the phone all day long. She
Oh,
was
yeah?
telling me, I was on the phone with Chikundi's mom again.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
We're hearing some really good things about the writing and the reporting that you've been doing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I'm Anthony, man.
Mari, and we just trying to tell the story.
Excellent, man. Keep it going, man.
Yes, sir. So, you know, stay laser focused, I think, is the thing here. There's lots of things going on, and, you know, I mean, what people might be saying in Olympia or Washington, D.C. or anywhere else, man, that, you know, well, for me on this story, we just want to be able to stay laser focused on what are the outcomes going to be. You know what I'm saying? What's up, brother? How are you? It's on my Facebook page, Omari Salisbury, Omari. Yep. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. And that's where I think that people need not get distracted about X, Y, and Z. But I mean, fundamentally, these are the questions people are seeking answers. What's up? There's Eric Calligraphy in the building.
Howdy.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's going on out here?
Oh, it all turns to mad faces when you come over here. Everybody's like, boo, boo. It's like, boo, boo. It's like, hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I don't know. This is a block party. We definitely need security out here. See somebody get beat up. Right? A lot of there was a call to the homeless to come occupy.
Who called the homeless?
It was on the Facebook feeds for like days.
Nobody I talked to. So, but
Every day.
Wow, well that's interesting.
Did you see the call to the homeless on Facebook?
Nah, but that's already. Oh yes, hey, that was inevitable. That's roll over and hit the alarm clock. Of course, we need our people experiencing homelessness to occupy this space. Of course, we need solidarity with them because they are victims of the racist system of capitalism.
Do you think it poses a threat to the general safety?
I mean, I definitely think we need to be careful, right? Like, we need to move with caution with anybody, right? Because this is a very volatile situation. But at the same time, you know, the whole thing that we've been handling conflict with behind these lines is with peace and without violence, right? Like, we've been de-escalating situations. We've been giving people medical treatment when they need it. We've been securing the area without the use of law enforcement or violence. And it's going to continue to be that way for as long as we're allowed to be nonviolent. So, you know, the earnest isn't on us, right? Like, we just need to keep occupying more space. We need to keep gaining ground and not let up on this, right? We also need allies to secure this space from, you know, during the Great One. So that's really what we need. And the more people we have camping out in the park, the bigger presence we have. So it's like, it's twofold. It's, you know, it's for members to create a presence, to make sure this is like the area, but then also to prove the point that, you know, we are operating a society that is beyond what the white supremacist established society is able to do for us, or has been willing to do.
But okay, so I got one question though. You linked homelessness with racism. Yeah.
It's like Marxism 101.
So are you a Marxist?
No. It's just like
So what about cities? But what about cities that got a white population and white homeless people? Are they being racist against white people?
Well, that's an element, right? It's like one hand washes the other.
Okay, but you can't necessarily say that homelessness is caused by racism. Racism might be a factor in homelessness. Is that okay?
Or the idea that was
because that's how it came out, and that's why I wanted to give you an opportunity to speak more.
Absolutely, thank you for the perspective because that is absolutely not what I was trying to convey.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, but there's definitely a correlation between.
I mean, you know, you can housing discrimination and things like that. I agree that it can play a factor in it. Okay. All right.
Absolutely not the sole cause. Let's absolutely make that clear.
Right.
So thank you for the clarity.
Right.
But yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's a huge issue, and
I agree.
You know, we have a mutual interest here as people that are experiencing homelessness, and then people also trying to hold down the space.
Right.
So we're fighting for a lot of this.
Hey, since you're one of my favorite DJs, can you give yourself a shameless plug?
Shameless plug? White privilege. Follow me on Instagram, DJ Dadbod. That's it.
In the building.
Thank you to Converge Media for all the work you guys are doing. This is very important work, and you guys have been holding us down this entire time, letting people know what's actually happening. There's a lot of false narratives out there. There's a lot of misinformation. And I sincerely appreciate you guys holding the space, making sure that you're giving people a real, unfiltered look at what's happening here. This is important work. And so if anybody can donate to Converge Media, please do so on their Venmo, on their Cash App, on their PayPal. All that's on Amari's page. But yeah, we need your help to keep this going because we're on the front lines. This is not over. They haven't met any of our demands. We're just getting started with this, and we need your help. So,
all right, there it is.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate your
It's
work.
now left the building. So, I said, guys, you know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. Let's look and see what the outcome is of the meeting that the mayor had and everything else. But this is the CHAZ. So, you know, I mean, we've talked to people all around the world, literally, and you know what I'm saying? This is the state of play in the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone at 11:40 p.m. Their demands are, go to, I think it's kingcountyequitynow.com. No, I mean, he's a DJ, but he's just out here in the movement, I guess. But you could find that info there, you know. But it's a few things. Yeah, they got Concert's going, so I'm gonna put you guys on whatchamacallit's feed. What's up, Crystals?
I'm not gonna say nothing here. Look at this. This is the leader of the 3%ers right here.
Oh, I know the 3%ers. They're always showing up in Olympia.
I didn't want to say nothing though.
Yeah.
Right. Iffy. Something to think about. I'm gonna go back to my tent, holler at my people. They don't know
All
what's
right,
up yet.
you let me know. So, yeah. Like I keep telling you guys, it's peeling an onion down here, man. So, they just showed me some threats from some pretty credible people. Not to say the threat is credible, but some credible people made some threats against the CHAZ tonight, and we'll see what happens about that, which is unfortunate. So, I think that what I would say is that the same issues that had guys at the barricade and the same issues that created this CHAZ, no matter what, those issues are going to remain unless fundamentally, you know what I'm saying, as a city, people are able to really come together in a real sincere way and address those things and address those issues, you know what I'm saying, in a real sincere and sustainable way. What we're seeing right here is, something most of us have never seen before, especially not here in Seattle. But nothing's impossible, man. Nothing's impossible. Especially if people just willing to try. If people just talk to each other, you know what I'm saying? And, if the conversation is sincere and people really want the outcomes, man. But I just think that, we got to cut. Hey. What's good? How are you? I think that we just got to cut through the... Hey, appreciate you too, man. Good to see you. People got to cut through the layers, man, and have a willingness to. You know what I'm saying? Got a willingness to. And my mama always says that forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. I'm not going all deep into, forgive this and that, but just if we keep a light on the surface, and I'm not even talking about like a race thing or black or white or whatever. I'm just saying just in general. Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. Because as today winds down to an end, guess what? There's nothing that we can do about things that occurred previously today. You know what I'm saying? We have to give up all hope for a better past because the past can't be changed. But man, the other thing about that is it sets up an excellent opportunity for an amazing tomorrow if we try and we reach for it. So I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully these threats that are now coming in right now into the CHAZ are just crap. That's what I'm hoping for. And in that case, you'll hear from me tomorrow morning on the morning show. But if something does come in over here tonight, I'll be back online. Guys are just moving from the upper level to the lower level. Some people, because that program is over, are going home. Other people just come down here to listen to music. So that's where people are going. Once again, I appreciate everybody's support. Thankful, for you guys hanging with me and, in our discussions and even my rants and everything else. But I just want to leave you with this. Hey, no mayor for me, man. I just want to leave you guys with one thing. It's like, man, me, where I stand, it's like, man, I sincerely love all God's people, man. You know what I'm saying? Every bone in my body. And, it's just what it is. God bless everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.